this preacher right here wants this.
I feel bad for the brown people who thought they were better than black people, who are now facing deportation. I feel bad for the white women who didn't realize they were the real DEI hires and were going to lose their job. I feel bad for Columbia and Emory and Johns Hopkins losing $300, $400, and $800 million, but HBCUs ain't never had that kind of money. I feel bad for the Tesla dealerships that got to close because they lost $900 billion since December because they forgot it ain't electricity, it's people that power this nation. I feel bad for them. A little bit, until I remember the words of that black sister with cornrows. Until you do right by me, nothing you do is gonna work. I tried to feel bad.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. These people are not motherfucking playing. Now that that's settled, there's a lot to recap and recount that I won't. If you expect me to have some sort of master plan, I don't. But just because they are up there carrying on Project 2025 as we told you they would, raining down oppressive statute after oppressive statute, strategy is not lost on us. I told y'all a long time ago, danger is real, but fear is not. And I'm going to encourage you not to let fear distract you in this moment. This seemingly relentless, very fast shift in power is designed to present a brute show of force with a menacingly imperious and impervious level of propaganda. And that's great, actually. That means we know what time it is. We fear what we do not understand, right? So never forget that you actually understand exactly what's going on here, so just do not engage. Fear-mongering and rage baiting will become routine, online and in person. So if there was ever a time to shut our asses up, it's now. Now, I'm not telling you to allow yourself to be silenced or intimidated into submission. I'm telling you to sit back, learn, and move in silence. My granddaddy used to say, you let somebody talk long enough, they'll tell you everything you need to know, but we need not show our hand. Now, that's not to say we can go on living our daily lives unaffected by this tragic upheaval, because 92% of all you want, this is not just going to affect the brown people and the gays, as if brown and gay was mutually exclusive from black. But even if it was, as a 92% of myself, let me tell you what would apply to you regardless. These anti-immigration laws, hate to tell you and I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but they don't just concern the people you see cleaning up your hallways or doing construction work on side of the road. This man is also trying to undo birthright citizenship, which was a part of the 14th Amendment, established so that African Americans could be recognized as full citizens. And if he were to put a stop to that, after February 19th, that would mean an end to the whole first-generation born American deal that's become part of the fabric of so many Nigerian, Jamaican, Haitian, and other black family dynamics across the diaspora. He's gunning for your insulin. And these days, that doesn't just mean grandma's insulin, because next to American Indians and Alaskan natives, non-Hispanic black adults have the second highest prevalence of diagnosed diabetes in the United States. So while he hasn't removed the $35 cap yet, because that's a law and there has to be a process, don't forget that not only did he win the presidency, but the House and Senate have a Republican majority as well. In his effort to forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based, he sounded off in his first state with an order to end radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing to eradicate all DEI programs, departments, and budgets federally. And then there's the executive order to reverse Lyndon B. Johnson's executive order from 1965. Now, what he might not know is that the Equal Employment Opportunity Act itself cannot be revoked because it too is a law that was enacted by a former president. But these people are already trying to supersede states' rights, so who knows what could happen down the road. Now, most of these things will affect federal workers first, because that's all he legally has control of. They are already sending emails telling people they got 10 days to suss out DEI contractors and report them, because according to his administration, we already got the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and anything else on top of that is unconstitutional and just reverse racism. These people are constantly twisting and misrepresenting factual information, not just to reach their own political aims or to cover up America's misgivings, but to also perpetuate the long-standing idea that black people cannot handle freedom, that we have either mismanaged it, taken advantage of it, or that in our hands is simply dangerous. And to that I say, you're right, because the freedom that you speak of, the only kind of freedom that has ever been awarded to us, has only ever been a version of it, an abbreviation, a quasi-freedom meted by whatever measure of privilege is deemed expendable at the time. Because at every opportunity for progress, whiteness does not hold itself accountable for its wrongdoings. Instead, it inflates itself by taking credit for the progress that was made in spite of it, because it for damn sure wasn't made on behalf of it. And then it says, well, how much privilege am I willing to give this time? Because I still got to maintain order, and somehow they always still want more. You damn Skippy. So they get chaotic when we start to make our dollar out of 15 cents. They start scrambling when we turn the world upside down with our 15 minutes of fame. And if you haven't noticed, it's not just a battle between white and black, between good and evil, but a game of call and response. And it's what we do with our taste of freedom that never fails to send them into a frenzy. And I don't know how many people of faith we got in the audience today, but one thing about my God is he does his best work in times of chaos. Hey! Woo! Because yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of what? Hey! Oh, he prepares a table before me when? In the presence of who? Oh, okay. But alas, faith without works is dead. And in the face of all this, it's time for you to tap into community. That means to engage in community relief efforts. Educate yourself on community resources. Be more open to the people who look like you and let go of the individualism that is set up to leave us weak and vulnerable. And while you're at it, shut up about it. Why? Because the revolution will not be televised and it won't be on social media either.
Oh, I love this woman.
I was born in Springfield and I've lived here most of my life. I can't believe these Haitian immigrants would come here and fill jobs that local Springfield residents would not or could not do.
This is it. Most people don't realize.
Now they've raised the average city wage for both Springfield and Clark County. They're paying income tax to the city that the city desperately needs for services.
Immigrants, including undocumented workers in the United States, where there is really good data, pay tax.
They're making some of the local losers look bad by their example. It's unbelievable. The Haitian immigrants are working overtime to save up money to buy up all the dilapidated, condemned, and boarded up homes in Springfield, then fixing those houses up to make them livable
There it is,
again.
gentrification of the houses.
This is raising property values
Raising property values.
across the city and county to the point where the valuation of all real estate in the city surpassed $1 billion last year for the first time ever. This in turn increases the property taxes paid to Clark County for those homes that are now no longer boarded up nuisances. I can't believe they're helping to fund our government and beautify our neighborhoods. These Haitian immigrants are now spending money in our community to where new restaurants and retail spaces keep opening up across the city. What absolute madness. Now we have new businesses in town generating more tax revenue for our city and county. I have a good paying job with great benefit, but because I have main character syndrome.
Because I have main character syndrome. Every time I hear her say that, it's just like, chef's kiss.
I want the exorbitant benefits that some of these Haitian immigrants get,
And the rest of the audience just laughing, smoking. Brilliant.
which is $292 per SNAP, aka food stamps, and $363 in cash per month for a single adult. Everyone knows that $655 per month lets you live like a millionaire in Springfield. I don't need it, but I want it before anyone else, because why should we help folks who have legally come to our country, but they have to wait for their work permit so they don't starve? Feeding the hungry in our community? This is lunacy.
I love this video. The video itself says a masterclass in satire. And I actually think it's cleverer than that because the audience she's talking to, I don't know, would have got satire. But the way she listed off the tropes and stereotypes around immigrants and at every stage showed the positive impact. Wonderful.